Good morning, students. Today we are going to discuss about the inline fuel injection pump. So, inline fuel injection pump is one of the part of the fuel injection system, because we know that in for combustion of the fuel we have to prepare the air fuel mixture, and for that, after compression of the air, we have to inject the fuel into the engine cylinder, so that there will be the combustion of fuel will be occur after proper mixing of air and fuel. Now, what is the function of this fuel injection pump? The fuel injection pump is initially atomizing the fuel to the required degree, and then what he want to do after atomizing the fuel, he has to distribute the fuel, and after distributing, so that we can ensure we are ensuring the proper mixing of air and fuel, so that proper air fuel mixture will be created, and then after that there will be the combustion of that air fuel mixture should be occur. So this fuel injection pump, apart from this inline pump, there is in this system there will be the fuel tank will be there. From fuel tank, the fuel will be supplied to the feed pump. From feed pump, it will supply to the inline pump through filter. So there are, if you are considering, there are fuel tank is there, and then fuel tank, from fuel tank there is a feed pump, and from feed pump there is a filter is there, and from the filter we are supplying that fuel to the inline pump. This inline pump we are supplying here. So in inline pump, there is a housing, aluminum housings are there. What is there? There is a aluminum housing is there. If you are seeing that this total housing is the aluminum housing, if you are considering this total housing is the aluminum housing, and in this aluminum housing, so in this inline pump there is already cam uh, cam assembly is there, cam and follower assembly is there inside that aluminum housing. So this cam will be driven by the timing belt. So this camshaft will be driven by the timing belt, and that timing belt will be driven by the crankshaft. It will be driven by the crankshaft, and to this cam there will be the roller will be connected, and this roller will number of roller will be the equal of number of cylinder required to inject. So this roller cam and roller follower assembly is connected with the this plunger and barrel assembly. So see here, there is a, this is the plunger barrel assembly. This is very important because in this plunger barrel assembly, so this is the inline cut is there, straight vertical cut is there, and after that there is a some helical groove we have provided here. So on plunger and barrel assembly, we are providing the vertical cuts as well as helical groove we are providing on the plunger barrel assembly. So, and as cam is moving, there will be the this plunger barrel assembly will move from bottom dead center to the top dead center. It will move from bottom dead center to the top dead center. It is moving from when this assembly is moving from top dead center to bottom dead center, so there will be the suction will be created, and due to this suction, the fuel will suck inside the um, aluminum housing. And when this plunger barrel assembly is moving from bottom dead center to the top dead center, it is moving from bottom dead center to the top dead center. As it is moving up towards the top dead center, so it will closes the inlet port and this spill port. It will closes the inlet port and spill port. As it is enclosing inlet port and the split port, this assembly will move again upward. As as the moving this plunger assembly is moving toward the top dead center, so there will be the oil will get trapped in this housing, and there will be the pressurization of that oil will be happen. As the pressure is increasing, it will remove the spring pressure, and as it is removing the spring pressure, it will open the injector, and it will inject the fuel into the cylinder. And then as the this plunger is moving upward, when the helical groove is coming, it is coming along the spill port. So spill inside the spill port, there will be the oil will be there, and it will come in the housing, and due to that the pressure in the housing will get released, and then again this pressure inside the housing will be get reduced, and this wall will again come back, as the pressure inside the housing which has overcome the spring force, that will be lower, and due to that this wall seat will come again at his previous position, and it will get closed, and again this barrel will come back to his bottom dead center position. So the pump space in this position of plunger communicate with the spill port, and due to that there will be the reduction in pressure happens. So again during the downward stroke, what will happen? It will again suction will be created, and then again inlet fuel will come inside the fuel will come inside the cylinder. It will come inside the cylinder, and this is how there is a injection of fuel will occur in the inline fuel injection pump. In fuel injection pump, what we are doing, we are pressurizing the oil by closing the inlet and spill port. We are by closing the inlet and spill port, and then compressing the oil in the housing, and then overcoming the spring pressure, and then injecting the fuel. During the upward motion of this plunger barrel assembly, this helical groove will match with the spill port, and then by after matching with the spill port, there will be the reduction in pressure will be occur, and again this plunger barrel assembly will come back to its position, and while coming to the downward position, there will be the again suction of fuel will be happen, and this cycle will be keeps continue till the yeah. So we can see the whatever the processes we have discussed over here, we can see in this diagram. So here you can see that the plunger is moving upward, and then it is overcoming the pressure, and then injection will begin, and then again that injection will be continue, and then this here the spill port and groove are matching, and due to that there will be the injection will get end, and then it will come back to its position by reducing the pressure. This is the fuel injection pump, inline fuel injection pump. So we can see now the rotary type fuel injection pump. So this is also inline fuel injection pump, same inline fuel injection pump. So this is the rotary fuel injection pump. So this is the rotary fuel injection pump. This is rotary fuel injection, rotary type. This is rotary type fuel injection pump. So this pump has only single pumping element. It is having single pumping element. So now see, it is having the very small size. Now you can see over here. So this is the rotor. So whatever the hatch portion we have shown here, that is the rotor, and this is the top view we are seeing from here. So this is the top view, and from top view inside we are able to see the rotor. That is a rotor. So in both section you are seeing this is the rotor, and so this rotor we can see over here in the front view. So this is the rotor. So this is the rotor, and to this rotor we are there is a longitudinal passage is there. There is a central longitudinal passage. So this is the central longitudinal passage. So this you have to understand. So what we are discussing, we are discussing about the rotor. So in centrally we are locating the rotor is over here, and this rotor is having a central longitudinal passage. Longitudinal passage means parallel to the length. The axis parallel to the length is called longitudinal, and this longitudinal passage is there. So this is the longitudinal passage, and to this longitudinal passage we are connected the inlet port. So this inlet port we can easily find in the top view. In the top view, the fuel is drawn into the central rotor. So the fuel is drawn into the central rotor from the inlet port, and when the plungers move away, when these plungers are moving away from each other, wherever the radial delivery passage in the rotor coincides with the delivery port for any cylinder. So now you can see here there are the apart from these there are two sets of radial passages are there. Two sets of radial passages are there. So here these are the radial passages are there. You can see here, and here also there is a radial passage. So there are two sets of radial passages there. One set is connected to the pump inlet. So now you can see these are the radial passages, and this one set is connected with the inlet port, and other set is connected with the cylinder. Other port is selected to the connector, and from this inlet port we are supplying the fuel to the central presses, and from this we are supplying this inlet, or we are injecting this pressurized fuel to the different cylinder via this second radial passage. So these are the passages we are communicating with the cylinder, and this is the passage communicating with the inlet port. So these at different level, and with the radial rotary type fuel injection pump we can, so this radial passage in the rotor coincide with the delivery port. So now this delivery this ports are coinciding with the delivery port of cylinders, and the fuel will deliver to the cylinder from this delivery port. So this is the rotary type fuel injection pump. This is the rotary type fuel injection pump. Now there is another type of injector is there, that is a piezoelectric injector. Piezoelectric injectors, normally we are using the piezoelectric technology. I think you might have studied the piezoelectric transducer, and in piezoelectric transducer you might have studied about the piezoelectric materials. So we already know that if you are applying any pressure or forces on the piezoelectric material, so piezoelectric material will have some special characteristic that if you are applying any forces or pressure on the piezoelectric material, so the shape inside structure internal structure of that piezoelectric material will deform, and due to the deformation of the internal structure of that piezoelectric material, there is a electromotive force will generated over there, and due to that there will be the due to that there will be the development of equivalent electricity will be happen over there. So now in piezoelectric injector we are using that technology. We are using the technology to open and close the injector at extremely high speed, because we know that the engines are running at high speed, and along with these injectors, means whatever the injectors we have studied, along with that injectors we while discussing about the injector, I have told you that we are using the fuel tank, we are using the feed pump, and from feed pump we are supplying fuel through filter to the injectors. So apart from that injectors, again we are using the governor also, because with respect to speed, with respect to load, we have to uh, vary the uh, volume of fuel. We have to vary the volume of fuel, and that will be done by the governor, that will be done by the governor. So in this piezoelectric injector, we are using the piezoelectric technology to open and close the fuel injector at extremely high speed. Even though I have written over here the diesel injectors, but we are using this injector in petrol as well as diesel engine to improve the performance and efficiency. Already we have discussed what is the piezoelectric material, and from that we can imply that if you are applying any pressure, if you are applying any pressure or forces, there will be the generation of electricity will be there. Why electricity is generating? As there is a deformation in the internal sizes are there, as they are expanding or they are contracting. So we can use this technology in the reverse form. So what we are doing, we are using the piezoelectric stacks. What we are using, we are using the piezo materials slices. What we are doing, we are using the piezo material slices. In next diagram you can see here we are using the piezoelectric slices. We are using the piezoelectric slices. These are the slices we are using over here, and the size of these slices are very small. So it may be the 200 part of the inch. It may be the 200 part of inch. And if we are supplying electricity to this piezoelectric material, so obviously they will change their internal structures, means they are expanding. What they are doing, they are expanding. So if you are means roughly, if you are supplying the 140 volts of electricity, then it may expand about 2 into 10 raised to power minus 5 of inch. But so now you can think that even though the expansion is too lower, so how it will overcome the spring pressure and it will inject the fuel. So for that, what we are doing, we are using the 100 slices, and we are preparing the stack. So we are preparing the stacks. We are using the hundreds of slices of piezoelectric material, and we are creating the stack, and we are applying the 140 volts of electricity to this piezoelectric materials, and due to that there will be the expansion of each slash will be occur, and due to that there will be the nearly 0.04 inches of movement will be occur, and this movement is quite enough to actuate the fuel nozzle to inject the fuel. So likewise we are using this piezoelectric technology in piezoelectric injectors. Thank you. So next part is the exhaust gas recirculation, that will take in next lecture. Thank you.